push where he just went in too deep and got punished, and that was the end of that game as well. Like, both of these teams have had the same problems, and even against each other last week. So that's why this is kind of cool that we get to have this right now, because we get to see what they've learned over the course of the break, because neither of these teams are playing in the Kespa Cup. And so, as a result, we'll have a different read, and we'll have been prepping very differently, potentially, but are very fresh. Lucian taken away from Smash, since Jiwoo doesn't really do that type of laning, at least from what we've seen. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. As you mentioned, though, maybe Hyperbolic Time Chamber,
Can you change a player like Jiwoo this late in his career? I don't know.
want to see the Jiwoo UFO flying through my sky, and I want to be like, I want to believe. I want to believe in what he can bring. So
he's going to pull out the first pick Kalista.
We are all, by the way, DK Predators this time. It was a little bit split on the first match, but this time, especially after that win that DK had last Sunday, we all decided that they should be favored here. And maybe that gives a little extra power over to KT. They're going to first pick Olaf. And I think Perfect was one of the first who was like, no, I'm just blind picking this. And what are you going to do about it? But I think since then, we've learned a little bit more about the Olaf matchups.
Let's see if Siwoo likes to play Jax here. He's had some really good Jax games over his career that have been very impressive. They don't have to get it right now.
How about a Kled or a Heimerdinger?
I don't know about those two picks. In fact, we do know a little bit about those two picks, actually, but I would not prefer those two picks at the moment. I think the Heimerdinger can work. It was punished by a really aggressive draft from DNS, but ultimately it will be Jhin. He wants to stay. He's like, get the Olaf away from me. That's what Smash said. He's like, I'm going to be on another screen.
Yeah.
I don't want that guy to touch me. And they're just going to counterpick Vayne. Well, I mean, at least that's what they're hovering.
Jhin, Vayne. 1-2.
That's a pretty weird... Okay, he's doing it.
Okay. He was watching. He's like, oh, yeah, that looks pretty good. I think I can play that champ. Okay. I'll lock it in. 100% win rate.
100% win rate.
Yeah, can't lose.
Ezreal plus what? Shen, I suppose, is going to be the opt-in here. We have seen this lane find some success, but it doesn't matter necessarily about the 2v2, because I don't think into Jhin plus question mark this lane gets kill pressure or gets big leads, but it's not going to be a 2v2 lane for very long. Whatever they end up picking here into the Shen will be also roaming around the map, and it's going to be a Jhin versus Ezreal isolated 1v1 in the bottom lane. Bard is still available. It does get a little bit of pressure into this lane for sure, and Career has been so good on the Bard since the turnaround, but instead they double down and go for the Karma here. It's a lot of speed up between the Karma here and Kled ultimate. As
I love this camera shot.
Max. This is so CV Max, by the way. Like, it's turned into a bit of an inside joke with us that CV Max, like, even when like Dplus were lifting the trophy, like CV Max, like, oh, by the way, I think you could play level 2 better, like at EWC.
Yeah, I mean,
he's already coaching the early game here for
Career. Doesn't look happy. I don't want to dig too deep into this, obviously, this tiny little interaction, but I do wonder what it's about. Like, is it about like a rune choice? Could be, I guess. I don't think this is the right time to talk about it. Did CV Max not want Karma? Did he want the Bard instead? And maybe, Career said a last-minute thing that made ShowMaker pick the Karma?
In my head,
I don't know.
He's coaching him through level 1 and telling him what he wants him to try to accomplish with this lane, because Karma doesn't get as much value roaming as the Shen. So maybe he's trying to say, you really need to snowball this lane. You need to stay there. You need to camp it. You need to set Smash up for kill pressure, because we're not going to play that 1v1, not with this Karma. Lee Sin gets taken away from Lucid here, which makes a lot of sense. And the Vi subsequently, or previously, was removed away from Cuzz. And now we'll see if we get any more jungle bans here. Syndra instead. Syndra works really well with Jhin.
Yeah.
So a little bit surprised to see that banned by Dplus Kia.
Yeah, Syndra feels good for both of them, especially the players, too, because I feel like ShowMaker and BDD are both fantastic on the Syndra, and are a couple of the first players that come to mind when I think about Syndra. But yeah, just going to deny it from BDD. They want to play something else.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean that ShowMaker wants to play a matchup that would have been punished really hard by the Syndra. Ryze can struggle in the early levels into this pick, so maybe that was part of the decision-making here. And this is a lot of rotational power with the Karma, the Kled ultimate, Realm Warp now, Jhin being able to follow up from so far away. And the Kled pick
Look at
feels
BDD.
Stronger now.
His mouse, he's not playing right now. But that is some mouse spam if I've ever seen it.
He's getting warmed up to play Viktor.
I love the camera shots we're getting, by the way.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like zoom-ins on the faces and the champions, but this is more interesting.
So they get the Pantheon before Dplus Kia can get Ryze Pantheon as a duo here. So deny that level of global away. And Pantheon plus Viktor is really strong in this 2v2 because it's just a lot of burst damage. Even though Viktor doesn't scale until much later on, you know, it's still powerful when you have that extra burst. It kind of shores up his damage in the 2v2 and can empower the gravity field if you could keep a stun on it, which is just point and click. So it gets pretty simple. Not to mention the Shen is going to be there more often. I think this is a really tough game for ShowMaker because there's so many threats running at him. The Olaf, the Pantheon is ulting him. You know, maybe you don't get access to the Jhin, but that Ryze is always going to be the target. Not only that, but when they're trying to make the Kled fight happen, there's the Shen to ult defensively. I overall think that this game is going to come down to a lot for Dplus about how well the solo laners both play their lanes on the Ryze and the Kled, but also when they choose to fight. And when they go in, they need to be confident they can win it. You know, play through that Skarl, play through the all-in power of this Kled, play through the Ryze Realm Warp, and make sure that when you go in, you know you're going to win that fight because you aren't going to get away from that Olaf if you decide you don't like the fight. KT will wipe you.
Yep, the Olaf is just so threatening, and we see the Kled once again into it in the top lane. So game number 1 of Dplus Kia versus KT Rolster starts now.
미니언들이 생성되었습니다.
Maybe TV Max was telling him about this Ryze level 1 play. What do you think about this?
I don't know. I feel like... I don't know if it was really about that.
I don't think so.
But I might just be reading too much into the facial expressions.
The ward gets to be placed for free for BDD because there's no Ryze to challenge him onto that Raptor camp.
All right, there's the trade. And Effort's like, oh, you have Cleanse. That's pretty good. It's pretty good into me.
That's pretty good into a Flash Ignite taunt, as both Flashes remain here for Smash and Career in a matchup that I don't think a Flash taunt can fix. You will be pushed in by the Karma. What you have to realize is that you're going to make a larger impact outside the lane, and probably not until you get your Flash back. So I don't think that was a successful play, unfortunately, there for Effort. It felt like he was maybe been laning with Fenrir a little bit too much.
He's hearing voices in his head. He's like, Fenrir told me to go in. He was like, I'm not Fenrir.
That is how you walk the line of a Skarl bar.
Yeah. And eventually just hop off. I mean, the last bunch of picks we had weren't the most interesting, as that is not going to hit the mark. But
maybe CMAX was telling him not to do that.
Yeah. Be careful when you magic you. Make sure you hit them. That's what we always tell the players too. It doesn't work to just say it, fortunately.
Okay, well, this early laning phase going about as you'd expect. The top lane very volatile. We talked about last time around how it was especially volatile with double exhaust, but this time it's Ghost for Perfect and Ignite for Siwoo. So a very different look, different take on the matchup this time.
That did not hit.
It really didn't.
Yeah.
It looked like it might, but
yeah.
it looked like it healed.
It sail into the wind. a lot of Conquer. It's a pretty good rune.
Yeah.
Especially on the top side of the map. Both tops and jungles. We do have fake jungle Karma trying to gank from the jungle bush.
Oh, I was wondering what you meant by that.
Well, he was like standing where the jungler usually is. Like, I thought it was Lucid until I was like, oh, wait, that's Karma.
He was a sniper. He was lying in wait to look for that Mantra Q. ShowMaker is very far up in the lane. Cuzz gets the speed up. And ShowMaker has to ghost. So that was just good wave management there by BDD, I think. As ShowMaker did not take teleport. And now he has to back. And he's not here for this. But Lucid's acting like he is. I don't think he can push this any further.
I mean, these Raptors are going to spawn in like 20 seconds, it looks like. So I guess really trying to make the most of his red buff, but yeah, ShowMaker does make his way back.
BDD was pretty low on mana.
We got Go Pings. They want to fight for the Raptors. They do have effort on the way up here. He has his Ignite back. They got one little Raptor. Worth.
Well, I mean, it's better than 0 little Raptors.
Is it though?
I think so, yeah. I think it's about worth 8 gold or so.
Go do your own
Raptors
jungle.
is worth 0. But what if you get one little Raptor, then all of the little Raptors on your side of the map?
Yeah, then you've got like a difference of 2 Raptors.
Then you're a big little Raptor getter because you have the most.
That's true. I never thought of it that way. But also you're behind on your clear. It doesn't really matter because, I mean, especially these guys are so fast on their clears. He's just going to...
Well, here's another aspect.
Be very slowly behind.
It allows you to constantly track where Cuzz is during that moment. And during that time, the Kled can try to push the advantage topside, which he has got the lane pushed in right now. Neither of these top laners again have TP until the role quest complete, so that means that every trade really does matter. ShowMaker does not have ult. I guess it doesn't matter because he's Ryze, but I wanted to point out that BDD had ult advantage here is really what I was saying.
ShowMaker, it's almost like he baited those cooldowns on purpose. I don't think it was worth it, but sure. He's going to go for a back. And
this lane has ended up being relatively uninteresting. Like, Effort has his flashback. He's actually not roaming. He's not leaving Jiwoo on an island.
Well, he did for like 20 seconds, and then he came back.
He's not Lehens. Jiwoo, there's a frozen pizza in the in the freezer. So, just heat that up, and I'm gonna go try to win the game somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, the wave was in a rough spot too, so I think Effort was like, oh, I do have to go down there. Probably got the call from Jiwoo a bit.
What kind of mother would Effort make to Jiwoo? We do have to wonder.
I never thought about that.
Maybe it's the kind of cheerleader type based on the flash in at level 1.
Just always, wishing that Effort's son can succeed.
My son wins every laning phase.
We got a Ryze on the way. And Cuzz is going to respect Flash away. Perfect also just trying to get out of there. That was a root on the Effort. As now we got the ult on into Perfect, who is getting pretty low. ShowMaker trying to one combo him and gets him with the last Q. Gives him the big green thumbs up.
I know we've been talking a lot about some of the mid-jungle mishaps here for KT Rolster, but not sure if Cuzz wanted to dodge that Q. Barrier will be used here in order to get Jiwoo home without his back being stopped. But the wave is already on the turret, so he's still going to lose this farm no matter what. So we'll watch this play again. When the Realm Warp goes over, Cuzz is like, uh-oh, I'm going to have to get out of here. Gets away.
Got the red.
Got the red. But then it's still a 3v2 here, and Siwoo gets his ult off here before he loses Skarl, which helps ShowMaker speed up here for the flash play. And then Cuzz could have blocked that, I guess. Yeah. But instead just, like, he didn't even dodge it either. He just kind of, he tried to dodge it, even though he didn't need to, instead of walking closer there. I think he should have been able to block that, but either way, BDD not able to impact the play. ShowMaker comes up. Perfect does end up biting the dust, and the Kled has a pretty significant gold advantage here on the top side.
Yeah, feels very good. I mean, ShowMaker got up there, got the first blood. We got a bit of a exchange here.
Neither of these top laners have ult from the last play.
Yeah. But yeah, ShowMaker got that first blood, but he's still only like 89 gold ahead because the farm for BDD has been good. He's just doing Viktor things, just farming mid, and not realm warping to top lane. So has a nice little 15 CS.
That is kind of a trait of Victory. Normally he's unable to do that.
You can't Arcane Storm to the top lane, so you know, what are you going to do?
Towards it just doesn't really make it there.
Yeah. What about a laser? Does that have the range?
No. But suppose you were on like the, you know, in the Krug hit, then you just did it over the wall. I mean, that's basically Arcane Storming into the top lane.
Sure. Yeah, I think we could say that.
So I think you can do it, but you can't Realm Warp. You can't. That one he definitely can't do, as it turns out. Unless I'm missing something about his kit.
Maybe in the next game.
Lucid wants the aggression.
It's got a little angle, but everything's just going to miss. Except the one spear. That's the one thing that hit. One spear from Cuzz as he runs away.
It's another one of those games like what we had earlier today where it's only one kill in this game, but there's just so much aggression, and we're kind of hanging on that knife's edge. Neither of these comps need to win early in terms of their scaling, but I think that whether or not the Ezreal can hit his 2-item spike comfortably is really important. The Karma's going to fall off later on in terms of her ability to set up engages. And this top lane, which is incredibly volatile, can become a huge side lane problem for if Siwoo ends up getting the one who wins the side here. Or Perfect becomes a huge threat for ShowMaker and later on Smash as well in this game if he starts to get too far ahead. So a lot of attention top side. And speaking of,
a little early there, but he still got it. And it's just 2-for-1 Grub's play. This BDD is now laning against Smash. And we have Ezreal versus Ryze in mid. Here comes Pantheon, and she was trying to go the opposite way. We'll see if he can get back on Skarl. Flashes to do so. Gets the one dash with a flash on in. Might be enough, and yes, it will be. We also had effort on the way, but now ShowMaker trying to join into the fight. And I think with that TP from BDD, that'll be the end of this one. Career just trying to run away.
And so the AD carries will get some push, but already Jiwoo is on this turret as Overgrowth, whereas Smash is not going to be able to get the same value, at least not initially, without this wave here. It should eventually be able to get a plate, but it's an even trade in the AD carry department, but on the top side, it's a win for KT, as they do even up the kill score 1-1 with Pantheon picking up the kill there. It's pretty volatile here because Siwoo is able to, because he is Kled, get that stacked up, grabs his Skarl, and is almost able to outplay here and get the double dash away, but doesn't have the angle anymore, so gets picked off here. Effort also has Stand United in this play, so I just don't think there's anything Dplus could have done. I don't think BDD needed to TP there either. If he saves it, then there's no value for Smash on the bottom side, and Ezreal gets the free plates, but he went over just to make sure.
Yeah. He took care of them, I suppose. So now we're going in for Siwoo, but he's just going to say hello, take an aggressive trade, I suppose. Now we got a fade here in the Banana Brush. Little Root's going to come down, and now Lucid able to frontline pretty effectively here as Cuzz gets left alone, and they take him down. Still no first Drake, but maybe now we have it.
I think it should be going over to Dplus now, as we just always keep checking on the top lane. When someone's running away, you're like, is it all in? No, it's just perfect, kind of getting into range to kind of harass him right now. Is this going to be that dragon? So it's a scrappy fight, and KT didn't have the tools to defend it. Once again, ShowMaker rotating over. And I'm kind of like pausing in my color commentary here because keep zooming in on this bottom side, and you know something's about to happen. It is, in fact, happening now.
That is a Shen. Cleanse available. Smash also going to flash away from that one, but you'll take that if you're KT. Trading some good summoners up. So now Career is ganking the Olaf, I suppose. Back on Skarl, and that should be enough, and yes it is. And now we got curtains opening up. Lucid just corralling both of these KT bottom laners away. And is not able to get the kill just yet, but he is quite fast.
I mean, Dplus are running this game right now. Cuzz is up here to try to patch the hole. Isn't making an impact with his Pantheon ultimate at all after dying on that bottom side play. And Dplus just have so much tempo. Maybe CV Max was telling Career that Karma's really good at ganking, you know, giving a shield over to Kled, because it's then hard to dismount it. Maybe that was the whole thing, you know, the double speed boost together, like I was saying in draft. That's what he was trying
CV Max is like, you guys, you can run really fast together.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Watch
Did you know
this.
that, Career?
Because
There's like, yes, I know.
you might not have known that, Valdes. It's not really even about running fast here. In fact, Career's presence was not even necessarily all that impactful on the play, but they did run fast together, and they did end up getting a kill over to the Kled, who has almost 1,000 gold the advantage here. In this game, more than last, it feels like the counter pick is working, but it's not even about the counter pick necessarily. It's just about forcing aggression topside away from the bottom side as Jiwoo.
All right, Smash in a lot of trouble, and he's actually just able to run it off. That's not quite enough, even with Cuzz takes so many turret shots too, and the turnaround is there.
Jiwoo! And Career is fine! That's not what he was looking for?
Well, not gonna realm warp, just gonna run into Cuzz. Free second kill. ShowMaker's not done yet. He's gonna land a root here, and now he's done.
I wonder if KT are done in this game after that last play. It's continuing to annoy BDD right now. Maybe try to keep the Shen here a little bit longer. Shen doesn't have ult yet, but we'll have it soon. So this is a Pantheon on to Smash, right? Gets the stun, gets all the burst, and true shot hits, but he can't land that Q. So Smash is like, well, you know, Lucid's here. Thanks for lining it up. And the whole while, Effort and BDD are trying to chase down a Karma who, again, as CV Max explained already, goes fast and gets away.
He runs real quick. Jiwoo's dead. I don't know what happened here, but just kind of hanging out in mid, and we saw this happen to Diablo in our first series, but even on the Ezreal, they just can't seem to position correctly. So that's another free kill.
It's game one of the return of Jiwoo, but you think Fenrir hits that Q? I don't know. I can't say. But otherwise, nothing that they've done in this play, in this draft, necessarily warrants, in my mind, a substitution. You can't know what your draft is going to look like when you make that choice, but
yeah,
we'll see what happens as this series progresses. But right now, I mean, all these small things are adding up, and KT are in a world of hurt. They're 4,000 gold behind at 15 minutes. This Ezreal is 1,500 gold behind his opponent, trying to hit his 2-item spike. Shu's not going to hit his bear trap there. But I mean, that's the end of the good news. That was it. Yeah, Shu didn't hit that. So that's a positive for KT.
Yeah, at least they have one thing, Wolf. It's better than having 0 things. We kind of went over this when we did the Raptor math.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's not necessarily Jiwoo's fault the way this is going. You know, it's always going to be a point of discussion. And,
absolutely.
You know, at the same time, though, I am curious to see if he can try to carry once he does hit the 2 items, because right now it's not an AD carry problem, it's a team problem. I think DK did a very good job of just rotating around the map and getting advantageous trades. And now that they have this 3,500 gold lead, it doesn't really feel like KT's comp can do much except sit back and try to farm and get your Viktor and Ezreal online and hope that DK makes some mistakes. Or we can dive to Kled. That's another option they have.
It didn't work out so well for DN Supers earlier, and it's not working out for KT here either. They get the flash, I suppose, but this is a problem. Bottom turret is gone. Try again to kill that Kled, I suppose is the
Sometimes in the LCK, even though we get a bad rap for it, it does pay to just sit back and farm and play passively.
Yeah, I really do believe that the meta has shifted a little bit here, but they played to defend the Kled, they turned it into wins, then the Realm War play from super early on in the game got tons of value, got a flash out of Cuzz, Cuzz gets caught on Dragon, and now they just don't have any map controls. A third time
it's still Kled, guys! It's still Kled!
It might be Kled with a kill here if he gets a few more autos and drops that Ignite.
Guys, go on! Like, look at the map! They're so tunnel vision on this top lane. I mean, I guess they finally got the turret, and that was
they
the
lost
idea.
2 inners, basically. The mid inner went down.
And the mid outer.
Yeah. And the
bottom,
that's what I'm saying. Like the bottom inner is almost dead. They almost lost 2 inners.
Wow.
For trying to kill a Kled. And if you kill the Kled, it's still not worth it. But they didn't even get him.
I know.
They tried to get him so hard. They tried 3 times. They, you know,
that felt like, okay, well, we've already committed to this, and we can't, you know, can't get back to defend anyway.
Try a 4th time. Try a 4th time, KT.
She was like, I'll make it easy for you guys. I'm going to run into you now, and maybe you'll have a better shot this time. But yeah, I think...
Please no 5th time. Please no 5th time.
It's going to happen soon. He's going to go bot, and they're going to try to dive him on the other turret. They're like, well, now it has a bounty, so what if we trade? What if we dive the Kled in the bottom lane, and we get the turret bounty?
The new caster buzzword of post-MSI and EWC is overload. Overload a side lane.
Yeah.
And I think for KT, they've picked up on it. You know, they're really enjoying the overload mechanic where you just go, well, we're behind. Better overload that Kled. Make Skarl's hair stand up. But it's not working. They're not going for the fifth attempt yet.
Not yet, yeah. Just wait. They do have Pantheon.
I was supposed to say Pantheon ult. Shen ult, maybe.
So
his flash is still down, Valdes.
You could go for the Ryze, right? I think that's actually
what I thought they were going to
a decent place to go. But Cuzz is on the bottom side of the map doing his gromp. And also I like how Career is shadowing ShowMaker. And he's just up here, you know, getting vision. There's not really anything else for him to do right now, so just stand next to ShowMaker. Maybe he doesn't get killed in the side lane. And now it's DK that are overloading the top side of the map, Wolf.
Yeah. But they don't have any more turrets to really kill, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Are they overloading or are they just macroing? You know, they have full vision control.
Yeah, I just wanted to use the word and be cool like the rest of you, you know.
That's the color commentator buzzword. Now everyone's
the buzzword.
Everyone's aware of it. We say overload too much these days.
Yeah, we've had so many of those words that I think it's okay. Going in is Lucid, and they can't really peel against Zhao. As I mean, eventually he's going very deep. Now just going to turn on a BDD, who does get rooted up, takes a bunch of damage. This is underneath, in between 2 turrets, so they're absolutely overcommitting to this, but it might just work. As a bunch of shots are coming in, BDD and effort are so low.
Trying to clear this wave as fast as possible. I mean, Jiwoo's here.
Charge. Oh, that should be the end of ShowMaker, but it is going to be an immediate trade for the Olaf. And now we have a charge coming in. You're not going to interrupt that one as he gets pulled all the way in. Off of the Skarl, gets the bear trap on a row, picks up 3! As he just pulled him into it, and she was like, you know what? This Kled pick is pretty fun. I think I might do it again in the future. Quadra kill for him.
Whole Dplus side doing the Jiwoo as he picks up a quadra and ends this game, Valdes. As it was kind of fast and loose, a little finicky up here, you know? Can we actually do this between 2 turrets? Lucid's got his Crescent Guard down. And then wait for it. Wait for watch the bottom lane. See? Perfect leaves. He's like, I'm going to TP topside. He does. And he does it first, but then, instead of finishing his back, it's matched here by Siwoo. And look at the difference of impact here. First of all, Perfect doesn't get here first. He just dies instantly. He Kled ults forward, charges on him, gets pulled into the back, and gets dismounted, and then just obliterates them. Super mad he didn't get that last kill.
Yeah. He is sorry, and it would have been a penta, but it is what it is. That would have been really cool if he just pulls out the Kled and picks up a penta. Not today, Siwoo.
And it's in situations like this, in these types of brawly fights, where everyone's too low, there's no way to lock the Kled down, CC him in this situation, where he just literally goes into the entire low-health backline and wipes them. The same way that Perfect wishes he was going to be able to in that last fight, but he dies first because his teammates are low health super far away. And if the Kled doesn't match the TP, maybe he could have actually gotten something done there. As we will see a Pantheon ult here. Let's see if we can see a shutdown. Maybe
does this count as the 5th time?
Yeah, it is the 5th time.
Okay. Well, Might work this time. Goes back on a Skarl as I spoke too soon. Well, no! It almost worked.
So even the 5th time wasn't the charm.
Oh, no.
He got his ult back. He had it. He pushed away. He said no. He said no, Valdes. Not even the 5th time will be the charm. No, KT, it will not. And it's another sleeper game between these two. It's not Dplus just didn't give KT a fight in this one.
It wasn't very even, and that made it not so interesting. 23.5 minutes, and we've been casting a lot of short games recently, Wolf, in Kespa Cup and in LCK. This time, ShowMaker just going to run away, or at least attempt to, as the Shen comes in, and down goes the ShowMaker. Flash on in here from Perfect as he wants to make the Olaf work. But unfortunately, maybe just a little bit too far behind.
Jiwoo is just Kledding over here, by the way. He's like, I wasn't too confident in the end there, so I'm just over here as an insurance policy. I'm going to take this whole turret out. Eventually, he will get answered by Perfect here. Effort is now rotating over. And Lucid's going to take the Empowered Recall home. So we're going to go jump into this replay here. This is what I was talking about. You know, ShowMaker is the one you want to run at as the Olaf. And in this fight, they get the chance to because he's pushed super far up. He gets caught by the Shen. And then here, as his Ragnarok runs out, he's like, okay, I don't think I want to push that much further here. And Smash has that big old shield from the Karma, so even if Jiwoo wanted to follow up there, it would have been pretty risky. They survive. That's the good news.
Yeah.
Perfect.
About surviving. There's no Stand United. He's just going to go into the Ragnarok and hope that it is enough to take down the Kled. The answer is absolutely not.
Almost got my lizard! The 6th time.
Is that a Kled? Is that a Kled voice line?
No, he just kind of talks like that.
Oh.
I think, is Skarl even a lizard? What? It's like
it kind of just looks like a little raptor.
It's like a lizard chocobo or something.
Yeah. Something like that. Cuzz tried something. I mean, that's better than sitting back and doing nothing, I guess. And we're just TPing in. DK having their fun here at the end of the game. They don't have a wave. Now they have a wave. And they can push and put KT out of their misery, as Siwoo even going to get bullied here at the very end. Gets 4th shotted to the face and receives a green thumb from ShowMaker once again. That'll be the end of game 1. DK just crushed them.
Dplus, pretty sure ShowMaker's Rod of Ages transformed as the Nexus was exploding.
Yeah.
That's how one-sided this game was. Very dominant performance.